Hi everyone, it's Frida and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to make this ancient Egyptian inspired Scarab Beetle Pendant. This is a Cloisonne enamel pendant and I've learned Cloisonne enameling 20 something years ago in an art school in Europe. Let's jump in. I've been always fascinated by ancient Egyptian art and for a long time I wanted to create some artwork inspired by that. I have many ideas, but for now I went with the Scarab Beetle Pendant. I was planning to put the enamel work in a bronze setting, and after working with the setting for hours, I totally ruined it. I melted the setting and I caught it on camera too, so if you're curious about that, watch until the end of the video. You could hear my dog in the background. After I cut out the shape, I filed the edges. I e-nailed it because I wanted to make it softer to be able to dome it nicely. Look at how nice and red the copper gets. I just love it. I feel like a sorcerer or something. Now I'm doming it slightly. I do this to prevent warping. After the doming, I sifted black counter enamel on the back and I fired it off camera. I pickled it to remove the oxides from the front of the pendant, and after that I sifted the clear fuse. I'm torch firing it because for me it's always easier to torch fire the clear fuse. That's because I see exactly when the oxides are dissolving in it. That happens when it becomes nice and golden color. I try to do everything I can without the kiln the first day I'm working on this pendant because we live off-grid and I don't wanna switch on my kiln today. We have solar, but I have to run my kiln from the generator, so I'm planning to switch my kiln on tomorrow. I'm folding the design out of Cloisonne wires. They are flat wires and they stand on their edges and they're going to separate the colors. I didn't wanna lose these wires, so I put them on a sticky tape. When I was done, I started to texturize my silver foil, which I made out of scrap silver. If you watch my channel, you know that I love to cover the surface of the copper with this because it makes the colors appear much brighter at the end. I finished the work for today and it was time to take my evening walk with Lucky, who was really impatient by then. And we met the first rattlesnake of the season. I'll tell you about that later. The next morning I switched on my kiln and I covered the surface of the pendant with silver foil until it warmed up. Now there is silver involved in the project, so I definitely like to use my kiln better when I use silver. I don't want to melt the silver accidentally during torch firing. When I was done wrapping the silver around the front and the edges of the pendant, I fired it off camera. When it cooled off a little bit, I covered the front with clear enamel and I fired it again. The next step was placing the Cloisonne wires on the surface of the pendant. I'm using glue here to secure the wires until the next firing. When all the wires were in place and the glue dried, I fired it off camera. By then I needed a change of scenery, so I took a break and I went outside and made my tea. I left the tea to steep, but before I came inside, I wandered over to our cactus garden. Spring has definitely sprung. Look at these beautiful flowers. These cactuses are absolutely thriving here with a little care. I spent a little time outside and when I came back, I chose the colors. Many scarab beetles are black or brownish, but there are some colorful ones and obviously I wanted to make one of those. I've chosen this beautiful teal color, which is going to make a nice contrast with the dark blue. I also chose a nice yellow and an orange for the sun it rolls. I'm going to share these colors on my Patreon. I washed these colors before, but I still wanted to rinse them before I started to use them. Now I'm going to put these enamels in between the cells the wires created. I'm using a paintbrush and a scraper to get these enamels where I want them to be. A lot of water helps too. The enamel particles kinda swim in it to the corner of the cells as the water spreads. If you're still watching this video, you might be interested in learning Cloisonne enameling, and I have a course for that on Patreon. It's a beginner-friendly 3-part course and you can follow me step by step, and by the end of this course you're going to end up with a beautiful Cloisonne enamel piece. I'm going to leave the link in the description. Also guys, I'm in the process of editing another course, stay tuned for that. I'm almost finished applying the first layer of colors on the sun, which you probably know what it is. The Scarab Beetle is essentially a dung beetle, which were famous in ancient Egypt where the dung beetle symbolized rebirth. The beetles are rolling dung balls, led the Egyptians to associate it with the sun's daily cycle of death and rebirth. Filling out these cells took some time, so I sped up the video to be able to show you the whole process. When I finished applying the blue colors too, I set the enamel aside to dry and I went outside to take a break. I enjoyed a cup of tea and meanwhile I took in the beautiful view we have here. By the time I came back, the enamel was dry, so I fired it in my kiln on 1400 Fahrenheit for 2 minutes. Enamel shrinks during firing, so we have to apply more than one layer of colors. I usually apply 3, I'm going to do the 3rd layer off camera. Until you watch me doing this, I would like to tell you about Lucky's first rattlesnake encounter. It was terrifying to say the least. We were taking our usual walk and Lucky always runs ahead. He noticed the snake first and he got really scared of it because it was coiled up already ready to strike and he was backing out of the situation, I mean Lucky, and I think the snake was rattling too, I didn't hear it, I was further away. I got really scared too because first I thought it gotten him, but luckily he was okay. I hope he is going to recognize the snakes from now on and going to keep his distance. When I was done applying the 3rd layer and I fired it, only one step remained of this process and that was the sanding. If you would like to see more enameling videos from me, please check out this playlist. You can see me sanding the surface smooth here. I also had to fire it again because it lost its shine during the sanding. Look at how beautiful these colors turned out. After the firing, I put it aside and I started to make the setting. The setting is a really big part of this pendant, so I thought I'd share a little footage about me making this setting and ruining it. I actually finished cutting out the setting and it was late at night and I really wanted to finish this piece today. I thought that I just burn off the paper quickly so I can get ahead. So that's what I tried to do, but I was impatient, I wanted to be quick, and this is what happened. So I remade the setting the next day, and this is how this pendant turned out. It turned out pretty cool, don't you think? Let me know in the comments. This is it from me today. Please like, share and subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon. I also have an online store, please check that out too if you're interested in one of my work. The links are going to be in the description. I also would like to say thank you to my existing patrons for the support. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!